pulling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now it in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen. Now it's by the stove. Big inside this cases.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Yes, sir.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and hoping for more here in Week 2. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Bridgewater. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. They'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You say,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it first and goal at the 6. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. It's second and goal back to the 8-yard line now. They'll set up to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Here's Fournette. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. Fourth down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now here come the Raiders. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a reception made by Dante Moncrief. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, first and 10. On first down, Scott looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And an alley to run. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. I don't think that was a blitz, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, there was no blitz called on the play. Had other responsibilities, but he saw an opportunity, saw a path, and he took it.
On second down, Scott takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes You got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Bridgewater now from the 50. And he's got Moncrief. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. They'll run on first down. Scott, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Putting the pressure right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Brandon, I won't go overboard here, but it looks like he's off to another nice start after what he did last week when he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And obviously a great start to the season, doing it in Week 1. He's one of those guys we maybe had pegged for a big year. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. Over the middle, he finds pass complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Here we go. Gotta go.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On second down now, Scott. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On third down, it's Scott. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Bridgewater on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. From the gun, Bridgewater. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A handoff to Fournette. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage. When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to the booth right after this. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The quick slant caught. The gain of 9 there sets up 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Fairly fortunate to get the extra point to go here. And the lead is now 10-3. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4. No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Play action now. Bridgewater. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And able to catch it on the one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This is taken at the 10. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. An update from Denver, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the front.
So many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And able to find Dorsett. And he's got this down to the 35.
Detroit!
The 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Philip Dorsett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Spinning away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. He's got the lane, and there he goes.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hold, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On first down, Scott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Now Scott. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, He seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyler Higbee, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders get a score closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And an alley to run, and there he goes again. 30, 20, 10, 5.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go again with Scott. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on. They'll run on first down. Scott finding some room at midfield. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch that and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
To throw is Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The son Reddick in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Niners on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big third down play there for the Niners. 65 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Scott, space to maneuver at the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards on the ground. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room.
And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to...
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. They'll run with Scott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. Carlson able to put this one through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit. Because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Diaz. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 21. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Throwing, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
On 3rd down, that's Scott, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were open.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a give to Fournette. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a third down.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They'll set up to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
He's going to get it running right. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, Fournette. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And his kick is right through. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
On first down, Scott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. On second down, here's Fournette. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Niners on third down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.